Uh-oh. 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 Here it is. Jonathan Gannon, there's the milk carton. Have you seen this man? Hour number 2, National Football Show. Big Sills in the house. Appreciate you guys being in the house, too. Please hit the like button. About time the Eagles got a pass rusher. About time they got an edge rusher instead of Hassan Reddick. Wait a minute, Sills. He was the defensive player of the week. Daniel Jones was the offensive player of the week. I don't know. I don't know. You know? I don't know. Come on, Sills. Hassan's a button. Yeah, okay. I know he gets off the bus every day, every night, whatever, man. Wait. Are you an Eagles fan or Bucks fan? Pancake, neither. I don't root for teams, Pancake. I love fan bases. Eagles, Bills, Steelers. I like those fan bases. Chicago. Hassan Reddick, baby. Yeah. Get off the bus. Watch this guy have 3 sacks against a shitty Pittsburgh D-line, and everyone go, see, Sills, he's back. I'm like, I know. This guy dominated the Washington Commanders and the Steelers. Congratulations. For nobody. Sills likes the Cowboys. No, I played for the Cowboys. Sills is a foosball fan. I do like Waterboy. One of the greatest movies of all time. Should have won an Academy Award, in my opinion, too. Thank you. I myself am a football at-large fan. That's me too, Colin. You know, I do love what the Eagles are doing, though. Won't lie. Sills, give me a Matt Nagy. Can't wait to see. Is that guy back in the league? I am a fan of you guys, Joshua. Good and bad. Even Mr. All-Around Auto Parts. You're a hater. Is he back with Andy? Is he? Is Matt Nagy back with Andy in Kansas City? I didn't know that. Okay, thank you, Brandon. Okay, so he's back with Reed and dude, he's a pretty good coordinator. Okay? Matt Nagy. I know, man. He's all right, you know. Hey, all I'm saying is, dude, Hassan, get off the bus this weekend. It's Pittsburgh. Stat game. Show me what you're made of. Robert Quinn is going to do it. That's for damn sure. Robert Quinn, dude. Can he jumpstart Josh Sweat? Is it Josh Sweat or Keith Sweat? I'm thinking it's Josh. Dude, your face is almost ready to go on to the Dan Sileo milk carton. That's a place you don't want to be. Because that's missing persons. Okay? That's the NFL Big Sills milk carton. We should probably do a segment of that each week. Players that are on, dude, don't ever get to the Big Sills milk carton for missing persons. Because that's not a good place to be, man. Okay? Keith Sweat, man. Dude, you're this close to getting on the Big Sills milk carton. Have you seen this guy? Please call 1-800-JAKIB Sports and notify Big Sills if you've seen Keith Sweat or Josh Sweat, whatever the hell he is. Okay? I think we're going to have a segment every week. Eagle players and NFL players that are on the Big Sills milk carton, missing persons. I hate to do it to you, man, but we may have to do this. Hey, what do you think? A Big Sills missing? Hey, chalk it up sports. We'll do a missing persons like a Keith Sweat's just about right. He's on that list now. Keith Sweat. Sills, Keith Sweat's the singer. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. We got Josh Sweat. Is that his name? Dude, when I start forgetting your name, that's not a good thing. Sills, what is your Florida Gators Georgia Bulldogs score? Don't ever talk to me about that game ever again, even though I have to bring it up a little later. Josh Sweat, Keith Sweat, same dude, as far as I'm concerned. Make it last forever. Make it last forever. Make it last forever. Josh, can you play freaking 60 minutes of football for us? One game. Just one game. Monty Python. Right. Whoa. Look at you, Forte. Actually, you have more creativity than Jonathan Gannon. Very nicely done with Python. A Python reference is always welcomed here on the National Football Show with Big Sills. Okay? Always welcome a Python reference. Michael, what's up, brother? How about Jonathan Gannon? Stop taking lunch breaks in the second half of the games. Jonathan Gannon, I think, may be on the milk carton next week. Have you seen this face? If you have, call the NovaCare Center immediately. 1-800-Crime Stoppers. He's Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. Have you seen him? We haven't seen him for 6 weeks. Call 1-800-Crime Stoppers and the NovaCare Center immediately. All calls will be answered by Howie Roseman. Big old picture of Jonathan Gannon like this. Keith Sweat. He's next. That guy has a shitty game against that shitty O-line. Keith Sweat's going to be on the milk carton. Or Josh. World Series, baby. Mr. October. Hang in there. Win the game, then I'll start throwing that around. Bryce Harper doesn't get Mr. October. Mr. October's got 5 World Series titles, 357 batting average, 27 World Series games, 24 RBIs, and 10 home runs. Not in postseason, but in the World Series. Reginald Martinez Buck Jackson from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is Mr. October. You could name that freaking award after him. Bryce, stand in line. Everybody's been trying to steal the Mr. October moniker, but Reggie's Twitter handle is Mr. October. Hey, you know how Wayne Gretzky has the great one? Reggie has Mr. October. Woo! So Reggie is 755 slugging, 1,100 on base percentage, and 27 World Series games. I think that guy's Mr. October. Yeah. Xander asked me, what's Robert Quinn going to have an impact on with Keith Sweat? And I said, I don't know yet. I think he's going to have more of an impact on Hassan Reddick. Chalk It Up Sports says, what does the World Series do for Bryce Harper's legacy? World Series win and an MVP in Philly. One of the greatest Philadelphia Phillies to ever played a game. I think the Phillies did this, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They lost to the Yankees in 50. They won the title in 80. They lost it in 93. They won it in 08. I think that's how it went. I think in Phillies history, not counting the Athletics, if I'm not mistaken, I think team in Philadelphia has won the World Series twice. If I'm not mistaken. Whew. Reggie was spectacular. Uh-oh. Here it is. Jonathan Gannon, there's the milk carton. Have you seen this man? This is the new segment we're doing. See the milk carton segment? If you're a missing person, Jonathan Gannon stands about 6'1", 114 pounds. I'm guessing. Wears a size 5 foot. Guessing. But I don't know. Looks to me like he's a size 6. Men usually don't have a size 6 foot, but hey. Have you seen this man? 6'1", 125, a size 6 foot. Very small hands, like Trump. How you doing? He's very uncreative. And on top of that, he's been questioned on his whereabouts in games, especially in the second half of games. All of a sudden, he shows up and he's at parties. And in the second half of games, Jonathan Gannon's nowhere to be seen. And then the milk carton has to come out. Look at the. So, if you've seen Jonathan Gannon, 6'1", 125, size 6 foot, zero creativity in the second half, call the NovaCare Center. 1-800-HELP-ME. 1-800-HELP-ME. Help me, help me. Gannon needs to take angry pills. No, Sydney, Jonathan Gannon probably has to be tied to a chair, put in a dark room, and whipped for a while. Maybe that'll make him tough. I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Make him a little bit mad or something. I don't know. Take his Cheerios away. Oh, wait, that's Rob. 1-800, help me. Oh, man. Dude, that guy's face on a milk carton is classic. Oh, dude. A high chair? Yeah, because his little feet dangle. He's a little guy, too, isn't he? Size 6 foot. Jonathan Gannon. Oh, man. Zero creativity in the second half. I don't know what he has impact on with Josh Sweat or something, but we'll see, man. Or Keith Sweat. Is it Keith? No, it's Josh. Okay, yeah. I don't. Bro, you've so let me down. I thought you were going to be a 3-down D lineman. You know? Wade Boggs sucks. Yeah. So his feet dangle. Yeah, when they have the coaches' meetings, Jonathan Gannon sits in a high chair and his little feet dangle. What do you think we should do with Josh Sweat? Or Keith Sweat? What we should do? He's probably got a little squeaky voice, too. That's right, 83 to the Orioles. That's right. If I'm not mistaken, in that 83 series, Greg, am I right when I say this? Were the Phillies up in that series, or was that the Pirates series? No, the Pirates were down to the Orioles. The Pirates were down to the Orioles, and they came back. Yep. Gannon is like Big Sills. No creativity in the second half. Same shtick. Shtick? I have a shtick? Oh, well, my wife would say that. How you doing? Good night. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, try to veal. If Gannon can be a DC, anyone can be a DC. I think Shane Steichen's actually done a spectacular job. He's 15-4 since he's become the play caller. Okay? I think he's done a fabulous job. Okay? At least Keith Sweat has a radio show to fall back. Yeah, Jonathan Gannon has a milk carton to fall back on. Yeah, let me get to the Week 8 ball games with predictions. Okay? That game last night, how many people think the Buccaneers are going to bounce back? Xander, I think you think he's bouncing back, right? You think Brady's bouncing. By the way, this affects the Eagles. Do you think that the Buccaneers bounce back with Brady? Do they bounce back? They're 3-5 right now. They're not out of it. Brady will be in the playoffs, according to Xander. Do you think the Buccaneers get back to the playoffs? Greg says no. Just this is Gannon in the high chair. Too many injuries to overcome. I agree. I think the Bucs are cooked. Too many injuries. Yeah, Shaq Barrett getting hurt. He's out for the year. Dude, the only people that showed up in that game last night for the Bucs defensively were Vita Vea and Shaq Barrett. They're broken. Too many injuries. Man, dude. Hey, Xander, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I think the Bucs are cooked too. I think the Bucs are cooked, man. Look, their entire O-line's almost out. Doesn't it look just by the body language that they've quit. It's just the body, even Brady's last night, Brady not throwing tablets or getting upset too. He knew the next day it was going to be public that he was going to have his divorce official. Boy, it looked like a broken man last night. Brady looked like a broken man last night. Then they both put out their statements, Giselle and him today. Man, he's a broken dude. My personal side feels for him. My professional side is, hey, man, what the hell do you want from us? Eagles shouldn't feel sorry for him. Look, the players respect Brady. There's not a person on the planet who doesn't respect Brady for his resume. But again, at the end of the day, this is about going to work every day. Everyone goes to work with issues. Unfortunately, Brady's issues are public, and it's so uncool. But that's why you make the big bucks, dude. That's why you're Tom Brady. Right? Jesse says, Sil's bet now that Brady is single. He won't retire. Yeah, because it's his true love. Okay? It's his true love. Dude, when you're a football player and you get to that level, the amount of sacrifice that the 23 years of football that he's played professionally, collegiately, high school, the hours of preparing, that's your true love. You put more time into football than your family. You put more time into that thing than anything you've ever done in your life. Just to divorce it, you got to understand something about leaving football. It's the longest relationship any man has ever been in. He's known Giselle for 13, 14 years. Brady's been playing football for almost 40 years. What do you think his true love is? His wife? Should be, but it's not. And it never is. You leave pieces of your body all over the country. You leave pieces of your spirit all over the country. You think you could just take a switch and click it? See, when you guys watch the Hard Knocks and a head coach goes like this and he flips that switch up and your career's over, think about that. Most people have a transition time. Getting out of relationships, being fired at work is probably just the equivalent. But when someone goes like that and it's over in the blink of an eye. And all the years of you putting into that, you know how hard it is to leave? It's crippling. And Brady has put so much of his kids' time, his wife's time, his personal time, his mom and dad. His mom was sick with cancer. Brady didn't have time for her. Think you just walk away from that? Brady walked away from his marriage. That's not a shocker to me. It's not a shocker. It's troubling, disappointing, not a good look. Brady walked away from his first chick that he had a kid with. Walked right away from her. Why wouldn't he walk away from this? Brady's more comfortable being in an NFL locker room. K. Robinson, you have to be selfish. Jalen Hurts is being selfish right now. He's focused on one thing. You know what that is? Being a football player. You lose a piece of yourself when you have that kind of laser focus. Nothing else around you matters. Do you think anything else around Jalen matters? Jalen's worrying about winning against Pittsburgh this weekend. Do you think there's some woman or some event that he's thinking about doing or some business deal that he's thinking of doing? No. He's thinking about Mike Tomlin, and he's thinking about Brian Flores, and he's thinking about all those defensive coaches like Carl Dunbar over there in Pittsburgh that are putting a game plan together to try to wreck a dream of his that he has. Jalen Hurts knows this. This game against Pittsburgh this week is another step. It's another step in the bag of money. And all the dreams that he's ever had. Can you imagine? Let me put this to you guys in a better way here. What Jalen Hurts is doing will erase Alabama. It'll erase Alabama. Has to be the most difficult thing that's ever happened to Jalen Hurts' life so far. Being called into Nick Saban's office. We're going with Tua. This guy was the SEC Player of the Year. Got his team to a national championship game. And to have your head coach sit you down and go, to be pulled out publicly in front of the world, that had to be one of the most embarrassing things in his life. Had to be. Had to be. Alabama people don't remember Jalen Hurts as pulled in the big game. We remember him as a 26-2 record and only freshman starter ever under Saban. Unfortunately, when you're a player like Hurts and Brady, you remember the losses and the heartache more than you do the successes. Because those are the things that drive you. 26-2 at Alabama for Jalen Hurts doesn't drive him. Being pulled drives him. All the successes that he's had at Oklahoma and Alabama, that's not what's driving this kid. Okay? What's driving him is being publicly embarrassed and yanked out of a game for another freshman. Trust me. You think this guy's thinking about anything? And when you're that guy like that, you're driven. You're driven. That's why he shows up with suitcases now or briefcases. What do you think's in the briefcases? Tablets, game plans, tendencies, motivational things to remind him of why he had to throw wood on the fire. Do me a favor one day. Go back and watch Michael Jordan's acceptance speech into the Hall of Fame. Jordan didn't talk about his successes. He talked about what drove him. Michael Jordan not making the basketball team in high school. Them keeping someone else. He said that drove me like no one's business. When he got to North Carolina, there were other guys who were recruited ahead of him. I was like, well, this guy ain't better than me. Jordan looked for all those things to throw wood on the fire, fuel on the fire, to keep him going and motivate him. That's why when you watch Jordan and that Last Dance thing, half that shit that drove Jordan, he made up in his own mind. Oh, really? Gary Payton thinks he can guard. Gary Payton never said that. Oh, I see. Clyde Drexler thinks he's. Clyde never said that. Clyde never said that. But Jordan made all that shit up in his mind. Dude, and when you want to know something too between us? When you're a guy like that and you're that driven, you're an asshole. Because everything around you doesn't matter except what's in front of you. You've got these blinders on right now and you don't see anything else but the finish line. What about your personal relationships? I don't care. What about your family? I don't care. What about your health? I don't care. Then you watch the young guy on the other side. Look at Lamar. Look at that story. I'm playing against Brady. I'm going to put Brady to sleep. Sorry, got to do it, but beating Brady matters. Now, some would say this. It's like beating Ali when Ali was 40 and you're Michael Dokes. You know what I mean? Michael Dokes beating a Muhammad Ali late in his career. I don't know. Or Marciano beating Joe Louis late in his career. I don't know. But still, last night, that guy put a show on, especially in the second half to carry his football team. They're not playing all that hot. They ended up winning 27-22. But I believe they're 5-3 now in the season. Shit, in today's NFL, that's a great record. Okay? All football players are selfish? They sure are. They sure are, man. You're egotistical. You're maniacal in how you do things in your life. Everything's about you. And all your family hears you doing is talking about you. I got to train today. I got to go here next week. I got to be here this. I got to do that next week. Hey, let's not forget too, we have an event. You're always talking about yourself. Shit, man. You know, one day I got to tell you this. I was talking to my daughter one day. This was years ago. And I was talking to my daughter and I lost my train of thought. My daughter goes like this. Well, Dad, I'm sure you'll come to you because you're talking about yourself. Stopped me in my tracks and went, Jesus. It's a horrible thing you get when you're a football player and that's been your whole life. Jeremiah says, LeBron is great at both. Not really. He is 4-6 in finals. He's done the best he can to balance it. I agree. LeBron has balanced it better, but LeBron's not the winner that Jordan or Tiger or Ali were. He's not. LeBron has a tendency to look up, which, you know what, at the end, I don't know what's right or wrong. I'm not saying LeBron's wrong. I'm not. But the guys who don't look up and are laser focused and have their head down, Brady, how can Brady be happy? Brady's now, get this, look at where Tom Brady is right now. He's in the same conversation now with Tiger, Ali, Michael Jordan. All these guys have been divorced, kids out of wedlock, putting their careers ahead of them and others in their lives. Brady's no different. You think Tom Brady's happy right now? Tom Brady's had the onion pulled back a little bit on him. He's not a happy man. I was listening to that podcast that he does with Jim Gray. I've missed 23 Thanksgivings, 23 birthdays, 23 years of funerals. But this is all self-inflicted. Tyson. I think Tyson's becoming happier in his life. Okay? All those guys have something in common. Their personal lives at times have been chaotic. Okay? Okay. Xander, but that's part of what I'm saying. Xander's saying this, Brady isn't out to be happy. That's what people don't understand. Okay. Well, don't be shocked then when he has a divorce or people feel sorry for him because this was inevitable. Brady's relationship with Giselle was never going to last. I said it years ago and I got hammered for it by my bosses. I said, it'll never last. That, you know, they're all hugging and everybody's all excited at Patriot games. I'm like, bro, as he gets closer to the end of his career, that relationship won't last. Football will last longer than Giselle. It did. Boxing lasted longer in all of Ali's relationships. Tiger Woods' marriage, golf lasted longer. Michael Jordan, basketball lasted longer. It's, when you see these guys like this, and you see these laser-focused dudes, they all have something in common. They sacrifice their personal lives. And it's not, you're right, it's not about being happy. Well, don't be shocked when divorces happen in their lives because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Dude, I remember going on the air. I think I was in Miami. I said Tom Brady will never in a million years be married to Giselle by the end of his career. Everyone's like, oh my God, they love what? I'm like, never, ever will it last. And dude, I'm not happy I'm right. There's kids involved here. Look, GT, you're right. These guys are cutting up billions of dollars right now. Yeah, but still, peace of mind, mental health. You pay a price for it. You pay a price. Predictions. Week 8 of the NFL. Let's get to them. Denver at Jacksonville. Here's another guy. I actually have the Jaguars upsetting in London, the Denver Broncos, and Nathaniel Hackett will be fired on the plane flight home. 26-20. Russell Wilson believes that he's a rock star now, and he's a musician and a bona fide personality. And what's happened to him is that he's no longer a quarterback or a football player. I don't need to know you're doing jumping jacks on an airplane, guy. Go out and play on Sunday and win a ball game. Nobody's happy with what you're doing in your career right now. Seattle made the right move. They didn't want that shit any longer in their locker room. Pete Carroll was right to get rid of that. Russell Wilson started infecting Pete Carroll's locker room with his personality, or one he thinks he has. Okay? Imagine this. Geno Smith has actually got Seattle looking better than they have in 3 years. It was just winding down, and he wore Pete out. Pete Carroll's I think he's tied with Bud Grant, who's in the NFL Hall of Fame. He's got 167 NFL victories as an NFL head coach. Pete Carroll's going to the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame coach. And he had enough of it. Had enough. He says, I'm out. Do I think the Jamal Adams deal, that them surrendering all those picks to the Jets, accelerated it? Yes, I do. I do think that. But end of the day, man, it was time to move this guy. And he is a train wreck right now. Can he turn it around? I've never seen a guy fall on his face quicker in my life. The only guy I've ever seen shit the bed the way he has, Tyson. Man. I got Doug Peterson winning this game. Arizona at Minnesota. 28-21. Now listen, DeAndre Hopkins is back for the Cardinals. This is going to be one of the more entertaining games, and one of the games that you got to keep an eye on this weekend too. Because Hopkins coming back. Hopkins came back already. He's back, okay? But now he's got another week under his belt. And you get Hopkins now part of the offense even more so. I still got Minnesota. Minnesota goes to 7-1 on the season. Wow, does that look like a great victory now for the Eagles? Carolina at Atlanta. Who would have ever thought that after this weekend, the Atlanta Falcons would be in first place in the NFC South? They beat Carolina 29-17. Man, you got to love it for Marcus Mariota. Good for him, man. Congratulations to you, son. You're in a spot right now where people are now looking at you going, look at Marcus Mariota going here. Good for him. I'm happy. I like the kid. Chicago at Dallas. Cowboys, 31-20. By the way, if I were Eagle fans, I would want the Cowboys at their best when I played them Christmas Eve. I'd want them at their best. Keep winning. Keep winning. Let that get better. Then there's nobody saying this. Well, you beat Cooper Rush, Cowboys. This is a whole different deal. Dude, you want to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. Or who people think are. Nobody wants to fight tomato cans to make a name and a reputation. You want to fight the heavyweight champion. This is the one thing that I still have conversations with about my daughter here. I say this to her. She goes, hey, Dad, we got to play BYU and we got to play Lindenwood rugby teams and rugby powers. I said, good. I'd like to play them every week. What do you mean? I go, I want to play them. I don't want to play stiffs. You don't rank reputations on beating tomato cans. You make reputations on winning games, beating big teams, big moments. Like, look at Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's looking for a big moment. You got it. Team has been to the World Series for the last 6 years. You got it. You've got the stage. Take it. Oh, I'd rather have the least amount of resistance. Okay, that's certain people. I like to fight the champion. I want to fight the heavyweight champion. I don't want to fight a stiff and make my reputation on a stiff. Because to me, it's like setups. Okay? Hey, Dommy. Dak's 7-3 against the Eagles. Jalen's never beaten them. That's a side in the thorn of the Eagles. You ain't beat Dak yet. Okay? He's 7-3 against you. 7-3. You want to fight him? Dak's a bum? Well, I hope he beats him. You haven't yet. When's the last time you beat him? 19? Jesus, 4 years? Got to start, you might want to beat Dak. We're almost working on half a decade here. $31-20. Cowboys over the Bears. Chicago, I'm going to be interested to see if they can parlay what they did on Monday night against New England. I want to see what they do. Game could be closer. Miami at Detroit. I got the Dolphins winning 30-27. I think Detroit's going to play hard, but Tagovailoa, man, he's winning ball games for them. Boy, are the Dolphins going to have one of the toughest decisions to make at the end of the year. Let me ask you this. We've done this with Jalen. Let me ask you with Tagovailoa, the guy who took Jalen's job. If you're the Miami Dolphins and you're Chris Greer, you're Stephen Ross, and you're the new head football coach, do you build your football team around Tagovailoa? Yes or no? Do you build your team around him? Knowing his injury. And by the way, there's precedent. They're moving off of Jimmy G. And Jimmy G has got a tremendous win percentage. What do you do with Tua? And Garoppolo's been to 2 NFC championship games and to a Super Bowl. Can you build your team, if you're the Miami Dolphins, around Tua Tagovailoa? You can't win building a team around Tagovailoa. You'll constantly have that quarterback on IR. 1 week, 2 weeks, half a season, 6 games. How do you build any consistency with that? He's not reliable enough. That's a tough conversation you're going to have. Shakir, I do not believe Tagovailoa is soft. In no shape or form do I think he's soft. Lamar going to Miami? Probably. Okay? Probably. But Dan, that can be the same thing with Jimmy G. It is. That's why they drafted Trey Lance. They drafted Trey Lance just because of that. You got to remember, Garoppolo didn't lose his job in San Francisco because Garoppolo was not winning ball games. Garoppolo lost his job because Garoppolo couldn't stay on the field. Jimmy G's missed quite a few ball games. He's missed quite a few ball games as a San Francisco 49er quarterback. His availability was the one thing that got him knocked out of the room. Trey Lance in no way, shape, or form has shown any propensity to be better at all than Garoppolo. In any game I've seen, I haven't seen it. Sports says Jimmy G's trash. Wake me up when Jalen's got his record. And has gone as far as he has. And has beaten some of the people he's beaten. Wake me up. Your biggest victory right now is over Cooper Kupp. Or wait, Rush, Kupp, Cooper, Gary Cooper, Cooper Tires, Cooper Rush, that guy. That's right. I forgot. Great win. Vegas versus New Orleans. Let's keep hoping the Saints lose. Can you imagine if the Saints end up tanking so bad that that pick turns into the second pick? What if it turns into the first pick in the NFL draft in April? Holy cow. What would you do if that pick goes from 4 to 1? What would you do? What would you do if that you had the first pick? I might not take Will Anderson. I might do this. Hey, man, who wants the first pick? It's in the top 5. Just as long as I land on Will, I get a first rounder out of that. So I would get a 1, make that into another first rounder. Like somebody talking about Denver. Okay, Denver at 7, right? Then you get Denver's pick and the pick that's Seattle's and yours. You got 3 in the first round. Then you take one of those first rounders, move back into the top 5 to get him. And you still got 2 1s. So you could get Will Anderson and still have 2 1s. Good night. Do you take a quarterback at 1? No. I'm building a team around this guy. Now our biggest win is against Cooper Rush. No, okay. Dom, who is it against? The Vikings? Okay. You beat Kirk Cousins. Congratulations. Sounds a little better. Your biggest win is against Kirk Cousins. Okay. It does sound better than Cooper Rush. Yeah, I'll take it. Kirk Cousins. Congratulations. Way to go, man. That's a big win. Big win. Big win. Kirk, third Cousins. Oh, man. No, the Dallas defense. 150 yards passing the playoffs average. Yeah, okay. He's also 47-14. Night. Jalen didn't play against Cooper Rush. He played against the number 1 defense. That's right. That's how you're right. That's how they always look at it. Through that lens. Yeah, that's how they look at it. We beat the Vikings. Kirk played defense. Okay, so your biggest win this year is against the Vikings. No, it's the Cowboys. Oh, with Cooper Rush at the helm. Justin Jefferson. Come on, Sills. Okay, the Vikings. Vikings make the playoffs last year? I forgot. No? Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. Sills, you had Cousins top 5 quarterback in the league before the season started. Top 5? I think maybe 10. By the way, let's take a look at Kirk Cousins. See how well he's playing this year. Let's see how Kirk's playing. I think they're 6-1, right? Let's see how he's playing. Kirk Cousins stats. Let's see here. He's 6-1. Let's see, 9 touchdowns, 5 picks. Not too great. Projected for 42. Now he at least is projected to have 26 touchdowns. Your boy's projected to have 17 TD passes. On pace for 4,200 yards too. Yeah. Who's he beating? He's beating Miami. And he's lost to Philly. All right. Look at that, man. Biggest win. Kirk Cousins. Congratulations. Oh, he had a bye last week. Interesting. Vikings have 1 loss to yours truly. Amen. 34-30. I got the Raiders winning this game. Miami beats Detroit 30-27. New England, I am saying, is stopping this mess with the Jets. 29-21. The Jets. Fireman Ed. I hate the Jets, man. I can't stand that team. They always suck. 5-1 Vikes are. No, they're 6-1, I believe. Oh, you might be right. 5-1? Okay. 5-1, 6-1. The greatness of the Vikings. The biggest win of the year for the Eagles. The Vikings. Tennessee over Houston. Do you know the Titans now are going to get to 6-2? That's a team that won the bye last year. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. There they are again. I thought A.J. Brown was a loss, but they've now been able to do this. You know what? We're getting it done now. We're kind of getting it done now a little bit here. They're now 6. They're going to be 6-2. How you doing? Jets win. Fireman Ed. Hey, Sills, what do the Jets have to do to gain your respect? Drop Jody McDowell as a fan. I'm kidding. Oh, man. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know, man. Have a winning season. The Jets, man, See, do you know who Jet fans are if you're from New York? They're the people that, they're the pretending like anti-crowd. From a Jet fan, you're a Met fan. Okay, the Mets too, right? The Mets. Hey, 69, 73, 86, 2000, baby. Yeah, that's a hell of a network, SNY. That's a hell of a network the Mets have. Yeah, man. 69, 73. Yeah. 86. Right. Hey, 2000. They built their whole network around them years. The Mets. The Mets and the Jets. Xander, do you want me to take it to the top or do you want me to take a break? I've come to this conclusion here. Big Sills don't need breaks. No days off. No days off. Huh? Xander goes, well, we need to, it's how we make money. And I go like this. Yeah, well, I'll give you more value. I don't. The Gigantes versus the Genos. The New York Football Giants versus the Geno Smiths. Sorry, man. Can you believe this? That dude, Daniel Jones, who was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, is going to run his team's record to 7-1. The Giants. Who's your coach of the year? Somebody asked me that. Brian Dable. It's not close. What about Sirianni? Yeah, what about Sirianni? He's probably second, and the guy in Seattle's probably third. You told me the Giants would be 7-1 with Daniel Jones and that shitbox offense? Come on now. Okay. Wow, Deebo Samuel's out for the Rams game. We're going to get to that right now. Yeah, but they got the greatness of Christian McCaffrey now. Okay? The greatness of Christian McCaffrey. Drew goes, the more Sills, the better. No. I'm still taking the greatness of the Paisan. The Sicilian brother of mine from another mother. His last name, look at all the great Italians that end in O. De Niro, Pacino, DiMaggio. Look at that. Sileo. Garoppolo. Okay? Look at all those great paisans that end in O. Formaggio. Yeah, that's pretty funny, man. Look at all them great Italians, man. Look at that. All end in O. Italian Mafia, man. De Niro, baby. Pacino. Huh? Hey, as far as I'm concerned, you end in a vowel. As far as I'm concerned, Moses Malone is a great paisan. Probably related. You know what I'm saying, right? Hey, I don't know. He's probably from Sicily, right? Rizzuto. Not the sauce. Puerto Rico. Sure, they're Italians. As far as I'm concerned, Espositos. All great Italians, man, end in O. They done. Okay? And like I said, Sammy Sosa, as far as I'm concerned, is also a paisan. Green Bay at Buffalo. Buffalo wins this. 30-21. Aaron Rodgers also falls to 3-5. Man. He falls to 3-5 too. Then the Monday night game. Cincinnati, Cleveland. The greatness of Joe Burrow. A true franchise quarterback. Unlike someone else we talk about all the time. There's your franchise. You got it, dog. Joe Burrow puts that baby, and they're 5-3 on the season after starting the year 0-2. That's a quarterback. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Man. Look at they're just, you know what? When you look at the play of the league, though, and you really look and see what's gone on this year, Xander, you're right, man. I thought the AFC, because of all these quarterbacks they have on that side of the aisle with the conference, dude, they haven't really been blowing people away, too. Outside of Buffalo, and Xander brought this up a couple days ago, outside of Buffalo and the Chiefs, probably the team that's playing the best ball is Cincinnati and Tennessee. Last night, I don't know, a little too inconsistent for me a little bit there with the Titans. But I don't know, man. We're going to recap. By the way, I got a little bit of news for you, too, also on some trade news concerning Alvin Kamara and the Eagles and also Kareem Hunt. We're going to do that at the top, so I'm going to reset that. Little bit more information on those teams, okay? By the way, Howie's going to be working the phones this weekend. We're going to know more after Sunday's games, too. Big Sales, Burrow or Jackson as your franchise? Burrow. By this much. I'm going to take Joe Burrow. You got to take Burrow, man. Burrow's a champ, dude. He's hey, and Lamar is so great to watch. Lamar Jackson is so spectacular. He is, man. He's so good to watch. I enjoyed watching him, especially in the second half of that game last night. I enjoyed watching him play. He was clearly the best quarterback on the field. Man, Brady was out of it. He's just, I mean, I don't know. Just Jimmy G Trash said he fold like a lawn chair. Yeah, that's why he's been to 2 NFC title games. You want to know about lawn chair folding? You had a quarterback for about 6 years as a lawn chair folder. Let me get that lawn chair. Thank you, Mr. McNabb. Thank you, Mr. McNabb, for that lawn chair you just folded. Thank you. Shit, you guys had the king of lawn chair folders. Here. That dude should work at a beach. You should get that dude and send him to Jones Beach down in McNabb. He could fold chairs anyway, and he could fold them with the best of them. Talk about lawn chair folders. Here, do you guys need a chair? This one's got an umbrella on it. Mr. McNabb, can I get a lawn chair, please? Sure, let me unfold this. What are you doing, Donovan? I'm folding. Why can't you defend Jimmy G without mentioning another team? I'm not sure what you're talking about. He only plays on one team. He plays for the 49ers. Who's better, Lamar or Burrow? Come on, man. Look at what Burrow's done in a year and a half of football. He took a team to the Super Bowl. And the Bengals to boot. The Bengals. The Bengals. The Bengals. Big Seals used a chair with an umbrella fishing in Freeport, Texas. Yeah, it was called a McNabb lounge chair. It was easy. It folded so easy, man. You should have seen this lawn chair. It's got a little beer cup holder. Okay? Got a little beer cup holder. And it's called a McNabb chair. You can get them on Amazon. Real easy. I got to take a timeout. Please hit the like button. Hour 3. Jason Cole. We'll talk to Jason about all the movement going on in the NFL. Keep it here on the National Football Show. Philly.